Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's Hump Day, May the 22nd. Captain Marty here. We're going to talk about what happened on the fishing front yesterday, and I'll be back to do that in just a moment.
Locally owned and operated since 1971, Billy's Seafood has been providing the locals and visitors of the Outer Banks with some of the freshest seafood you'll find. Not too far off the beaten path down Collington Road in KDH, Billy's Seafood has become a landmark for those seeking top-notch seafood at affordable prices. Billy's Seafood also has beer, wine, grandma's tuna salad, and other groceries as well. To see more, go online to billyseafoodobx.com. Billy's Seafood, putting fresh seafood on your table for over 50 years.
When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks.
So we did get our offshore fleet out, both Hatteras and Oregon Inlet. Really foggy morning this morning. That had an effect on a lot of the different fishing. The Hatteras fleet pretty much stayed in the fog all day long, but they stuck it out. They caught some pretty good catches of blackfin tuna. They had some mahi or dolphin, and they had them both bailers and gaffers. I saw one that was probably 35 or 40 pounds, which was a really nice mahi. They had a few wahoo in the catches as well. I didn't hear much about a blue marlin bite today, but there's been a few out there almost every day. And some days it gets pretty darn good, and that's good to know because we have other tournaments. We have the Big Rock tournament coming up. We have the Hatteras Marlin Club tournament coming up. And then after those, in July and August, we'll get into the Oregon Inlet tournaments, Rudy Inlet, and things like that. So tournament season is here, and we're having a lot of fun. I'll be going back down to Hatteras for the Hatteras Marlin Club tournament in mid to late June. I'm looking forward to that. The Oregon Inlet fleet today had very, very good yellowfin tuna fishing limits for many of the boats. Just beautiful class of tuna, 50 to 70 pounders at docks full of yellowfin tuna. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be this time of year, although you never want to take that for granted and you never want to think you're guaranteed, because let me tell you something, and I've been there and I know, you can get skunked. You can spend $3,000 or $4,000 to go on a charter boat and you can get skunked. The guys are the best there are, best in the business anywhere on the East Coast. Doesn't happen very often. Most of the time they have catches like they had today where you get 500 or 600 pounds of yellowfin tuna this time of year. But just last week we had some days where they could hardly find a tuna. So it's kind of the luck of the draw. It was not great for the guys fishing closer to the beach. This morning the fog made it hard to sight cast to cobia, but after the fog lifted they did catch a few, and the cobia bite so far has been good. I don't know how long it will last before they close the season down, but right now it is good. As far as surf and pier fishing, almost identical reports. Thanks to Tony Lombardi from the walkingangler.com for getting in just at the buzzer, the little bit of information. I had already heard about some blues, some sea mullet, and some drum. Tony's pointing out that they also caught some flounder and some sharks. The drum, there's still a few big ones down at Cape Point, but we're seeing mostly puppy drum off the piers. The sharks are mostly small, but not entirely small. There's been a few black tips and sand sharks that were 6 or 7 feet long. The sea mullet bite it just depends. Some days it's really, really good, and other days you can hardly find one. That's a schooling fish that moves up and down the beach, and when they're there, you're going to get 2 at a time as fast as you can pull them when they're there. That's the thing you got to really remember. So pretty good activity up and down our beaches. And it's the time of year when you can go out there and you don't need waders. You can use like a 7-foot combo, surf fishing combo. You don't need a great big heavy heaver. You can get the freshest bait you can find or some synthetic bait, and you can relax and catch enough fish for dinner without much problem. Remember, if you go on the piers, it doesn't cost anything. I mean, it costs you to go on the pier. It doesn't cost anything where you have to go out and buy a fishing license. That's the key, because the piers are covered with a blanket license, so you're good to go there. Now, if you fish off the beach, that's a different story. And so if you're 16 or older, you're going to have a fishing license. I'll be right back to tell you about a little trout bite going on in the Sound. Hey y'all, Captain Marty here to tell you that when my friends are in the market for a new boat engine or repair, I send them to the best, and that's at Ratcliffe Marine in Belhaven. Ratcliffe Marine is your official Suzuki outboard dealer. Suzuki motors are designed to get you on the water fast and get you back to the dock whenever you're ready. Ratcliffe Marine is also the largest repower center in North Carolina. So when you're in the market for a new motor or you need your Suzuki serviced, go to Ratcliffe Marine, 865 Highway 264 in Belhaven. In the backcountry, one of the hardest places it is to gather information for a fishing report, and I don't know why. That place is so big. It's 120 miles long, 30 miles across, and its widest point. Beautiful shorelines that are mostly not fished very heavily. It does require a boat for about 90% of it, but I heard that the speckled trout bite was good yesterday, and I can see that they're getting bigger. I saw some posts on Facebook of a couple of 5-pounders and one that was 6 pounds, so the quality is good. There's also back at Hatteras today, they caught speckled trout and big bluefish. So the big blues are back for now. They're along the beaches, they're in the inlets, and they're in the sound. That's another, like the sea mullet, they move around all the time. So it does require a little bit of luck to find them, but when you find them, the bite is going to be a very good bite. So those are the two things that are happening there. I also heard today of one person fishing the North River that had a good bite on some crappie. We haven't talked about the crappie fishing in a while, but in fact, we haven't talked about freshwater fishing in a while either, but there was at least one boat that got on them, and using live minnows caught them pretty good. So that's pretty much the long and the short of the fishing report here in the middle of the week. As we approach the weekend, though, the charter boats now have enough people in town where even if you can't charter the whole boat, you can get on a makeup charter. They'll put you with 6 or with 5 other people to make a total of 6, and you can go out there and try to catch some of these tuna or maybe a blue marlin during the peak of that season. So go out and go fishing any way you can. You'll find friendly people at the booking desk. Really proud of all of our major marinas, and that's where you need to stay, is at the major marinas, and go down there and find out what it takes to get on an offshore fishing boat, and then also walk the dock and talk to the mates. That's the very best thing you can do to find out about the fishing, what's going on, about the captains, and the mates are the talkers. So keep that in mind. Have a great day, and thanks for stopping by.